Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my channel at Going Bad Dog 123. You got Flight Nut here, which sounds kind of corny. I'm also avid flight sim, but today we're going to do the Hamburg to Hanover, and I'm going to show you how to use the AFB. And the two letters to control that will be your C key and Y key. So as I'm going to do it little by little, we're going to set our controller to forward, and we're going to go ahead and add some power, but we're not going to do that just by adding power. Alright, you notice train's not moving, and I'm getting ready to use my AFB, and you see down here we have 40 miles an hour. So we're going to use the letter Y key.
AFB.
Going to set it
AFB.
is going to set it up to 40, 45 or 50. You have to do the letters real quick. All right, now you see I got it set here. Train's not moving yet, and as soon as I release my brakes, the train will move. So here we go. Now the train will accelerate up to that 40 miles an hour. And we should have interior light somewhere. Might not be in this particular train. This is the 605 TD. There's a horn. What this is, that's the sander. Now you see it's trying to maintain that close to that 40 miles an hour. It'll speed up and slow down. And normally on the other ones, some of the other German trains, you'll see the speedometer here read out. But I have my keyboard on my letters at like 3/4 responsive. So as soon as if you don't have it set where sometimes it'll give you more than what you tap your button on, so you just have to pay particular attention to how you use your keyboard. Alright, now we're going to go up to 60, and mine is set quick, so I have to tap mine quickly and just have to watch the power setting. Now you can, when you come to a stop, you can just use your brakes and it will override your AFB. So it's set for 80 miles an hour. Or 60 something. Alright, we're going to go up to 80. Should be 80. 5. Tap a little bit more. That should get me 80 miles an hour. And you notice I'm sitting a little bit further back in the cab. If I remove my emblem here, you can see a little bit more of the cab, and where your face is not plastered up against the windshield. There's a gentleman on PTG Rail. He has a short video how to set your vision a little bit further back from the cab. Now I'll show you when we come into the first stations, and I'm not going to change this. Whatever that setting is, I'm going to leave that AFB there, and I just use the brakes to override it. Now you can release the brakes, the train will speed back up to whatever setting you had left on your AFB. That's the only catch. Brakes will override the AFB. Like in this instance, I'm going to apply the brakes now. See, it's going to override that AFB. And she's going to slow down to whatever speed I want. Now I release the brakes, and you notice the power setting comes back up to the last preset on the AFB. So I'll use that when I come into the station. Instead of playing with the AFB, I'm just going to apply the brakes, what I think would take me to stop at the station. Come up short, just release the brakes, the train will speed up, but you have to make sure you reapply your brakes. If not, if you got it set at 100 and you a little bit short of the station, the train's going to speed up and it will throw you off to try to reapply the brakes. So we're going to keep it this 80 miles an hour, even though it's 120 now. And I'll show you, this train has pretty good brakes of what it seems like. It slowed down pretty good when I first applied them, so we're going to keep it there. Yeah, why not? Let's take it up to 120. Hit the Y key. We'll take it up to 110. But you just got to make sure you have your power setting here to what you want. You can set it at 100. Now, when you do some of the career scenarios, it will show up poor driver quality. We'll start taking points off. In this case, the power setting on this one here is not that sharp. I'm just doing this in quick drive. So we should have a stop coming up here in a little bit. Now I'm going to leave my setting alone. On my AFB, I'm going to leave my power alone. It's going to come up to that power setting at 110, and she's going to go back to idle. Now this helps when you're going downhill too. You won't have no you won't get no speeding. Yeah, I won't do the whole 173 kilometers. I know a fella, train simmer that I follow, and he follows me. He was having problems with the AFB, and I kind of tinkered around with it and figured it out. And I'll show you on this first stop what I'm going to do, which makes it easy using the AFB. Now, you can slow down using the AFB, but if you judge it right, and you check the first time you get into a new train, you check your brake setting, how the train brakes. Then you can kind of figure it out when you can release the brakes and apply the brakes until you get a pattern set down for that one train. So the next time you come into it, you can wait. Now I know on a Voyager train it's real hard to quickly slow that Voyager down. That 220 221 Voyager has for being such streamlined, it does not have very good brakes in my opinion. Normally you have to set that one off 100 miles away, or not 100 miles away, a mile away or a mile and a half, apply the brakes and just leave them on, and then go from a setting from the brakes on till the brakes is off. So we got 100 coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and tap it back down to 100, and she's gonna slow down to that 100. One more time, and she's gonna, you see the power lever is going to the negative side, so she's gonna slow down, and she's gonna maintain that speed or whatever I got set on the AFB. I didn't have to set it down that early. I'm still a mile and a half away, but Just showing you, some trains takes a while to slow down. Some of them will slow down real quick. We're just going to put along here and wait for this first stop to come up. And as your marker 100, so time gets to the next light will be a setting. And your normal other keys, V is for your wipers, and H for your headlights, and L for your inside lights. Then F1 will bring up your quick drive your scenario list over here. F2 is your save, and F3 and 4 is your small screen that I've got here, or F4 will bring up the large one. And not sure with the rest of the keys. You can kind of explore F5, 6, 7, and 8. I know F12 is a screensaver. So okay, we got to stop coming up there in about a mile and 3/4. I'm going to leave my AFB at that setting. I'm not going to mess with it no more. I'm going to use the brakes to slow down. See the train speeding up to try to maintain close to that 100. It won't get real close, but it'll get close enough. And you just watch the indicator down at the bottom, how far you're away. So we're going to try it at a half mile, see what the setting is and how quick it slows down. I can always put more on it. Once you put it on, it will slow down. See, I'm still half mile away. This train's got good brakes, so I'm going to release it. But here's the point. Now it's going to speed back up to what that AFB setting was. So if you catch it quick enough, it won't get that full speed. I'm going to hit my brakes again and override the AFB. This train has really good brakes, so at 22%, I was still a half mile away, or over a half mile away, and it was still trying to slow down. So in this case, I'm going to wait till I get in the station a little bit. And I'm going to apply the brakes. If I need more, I can always add more now. I could have waited a lot to get a lot further in there, so I'm not going to have to reapply anymore. We go ahead and hit F2, jump out, and we'll swirl around here. Still well within the green, so we know on the next stop this train will have good brakes. So we'll hit T, open our door, in which you should see on some of the other, okay, this one here has a T lit up, signifying the door is open. You should have one on one side and one on the other. Pan back out. Now you notice I still got my power setting at 48% and my AFB at 100. Now as soon as my doors close, wait on that door sound. Alright, doors is closed. Now all I'm going to do is release the power. Now the train's going to start moving 48% power, and it's going to come up to that 100. We're going to take it up to 120. should be 120 or close to it. Now on the other ones, it will show the settings. That's 110, 125. So we'll do a quick tap on the C, and it shall come up to that 120 mark. So now we know for this particular train set the brakes are absolutely real good. Now you can increase power to whatever power setting you want. I can take it up to whatever power setting I want, and I can leave it there. Got a good in-cab, good view in the back of the passenger car. Good view, rear view, front view, back in the cab. Now the train will accelerate up to that 120 and maintain that 120. Now if you want to try it out on real, the braking system for going downhill and stuff, try the 3 country corner route, and you start at the bottom and go up to St. Vith or St. whatever the station up there in Austria. You can do that one there and come back down the hill just by using your AFB. And when you come up to a station and using your brakes to override the train or override the AFB. You see, I got it set for 120, and we know this train has good brakes, so we can wait till a later time to apply the brakes. Now YouTube does have a video of this route. You can go on YouTube and type in Hamburg to Hanover, and there's one video that does the whole route for this route here in trainsim. You can find that on the YouTube video. I watched it numerous times. So now we know this train has good brakes, so we're going to take it down to 50 and go from there. You can always add power. So now we know we can, I got it at 35%. If I need to add more, I'll add more, or I can take off. I'm going to take off a little bit. See, we're still way out of the station. This train has super good brakes. So I was just a little over a half mile away and still had plenty of braking power. So this train has no problem of slowing down. Still not even up by the station. Say I take them off, the train's going to accelerate again. That's the only catch. If you got your AFB set, it's going to Alright, I waited a little bit too long. We're going to pan over here. Now that door's not going to open. The others might not open either. Now you can hit your 8 key and use your mouse and your arrow. Go down here, check them out. Now you can hit your shift And for there, you really zoom around. But we only got one door that's open. And just use the regular forward and back arrow, you'll move. Or you can hit shift and zoom up to here. Now I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to take my brakes off, and we can watch our train come out of the station. And we'll watch the train go by. We're in the stationary position. And then we can pan around and watch the train go down the track. There he goes. And we can jump back in the cab. Now we can take it on up to 160. Kind of scroll in a bit so we can. There's a setting of 160. Now we can go ahead and take our power all the way up to 100%. Now this one here, train should tilt. We'll find out here shortly if it tilts, which it should. Really ain't going that fast. We're only going a little over 60 miles an hour. For every 100 kilometers an hour at 60 miles an hour. Now that should be all the There's your cruise set. That's your AFB, which I'm using letters C and Y for that control. Power settings all at 100%. We'll do one more stop here. I want to show you doing it at 160 kilometers, and we're going to come into a stop. You can always apply more brakes than take off what you don't need, so you don't throw your passengers around. This train is awful quiet. I've got my volume down to about 24-25% for me to hear the outside. So the only time that noise is when you're going under overpass or through a tunnel or whatever. This route don't have any tunnels, so you see it's set at 160. It's going to maintain this set speed here. Doesn't matter if you're going uphill or downhill, she'll maintain that speed. Basically now it's hands-on. You got it in cruise control. All you do now is you do sightseeing. Don't have to worry about speeding up or slowing down. It will maintain close to that one, how far it's set away from the actual speed. Now running at the speed of 160 kilometers, you might have to take it up around that half mile or 3/4 of a mile. I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to apply a little bit early. If I need to take it off, I'll take the brake setting off. Or you can slow your train down using the AFB and then apply the brakes. Or you can just totally override the AFB. Alright, we got a station coming up, a little 2 miles away, and we're going to set it about 70, about 3/4 of a mile away from the actual stop. Maybe a little bit further out, because this is going to be like a learning at this speed here. The other was only at 110, 120, and I had to release the brakes a couple times just to where I can get enough speed to get into the station. So we're going to leave that power setting at 160. So we could take it a little over about 3/4 of a mile. We'll take it down to that and see what it does. Alright. We're going to do it at 48%, and we can always take power off. Alright, we're getting wheel slip. Just a little bit too much. A little bit too much. This thing has awful good brakes. So this is one train you have to play around with. This is a good, nice long platform here. Alright, well, there's a short introduction on how to use the AFB. So you can kind of play it by ear how you want to use the AFB. I found that's the easiest, using the AFB. So hope y'all guys and gals learned a little bit today on my short video, and I appreciate you guys and gals checking out my YouTube videos. I've done had over 1,000 views. Don't have many subscribers, but I'm always loading at least one video a week up, and if y'all leave a comment on there, I've got the majority of the routes, or if it's a train you want to see before you decide to buy it through Steam, leave a comment, or go into my actual YouTube site to check it out and leave a comment in the discussions or whatever, and I'm sure I'll have the route all except for the latest one they just come out on Steam, which I don't have yet. The Mineham route, I don't have that route yet. So I appreciate you guys checking my video out, and we'll see you next time.